Welcome to The Explainer. We're all about taking really complex stuff and turning it into a story you can actually understand. And today, we've got a great one. We're cracking open MongoDB's latest quarterly report. We're going to find out what's really going on behind all those numbers. So you open up a financial report, and this is what you see. Yeah, it's a total mess, right? It looks like something straight out of the Matrix. I mean, this is designed for computers to read, not for us. But here's the thing. Hidden inside all that chaos is a really fascinating story, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to decode it together. And this is our case file. It's called a Form 10Q. Basically, if you're a public company, you have to file one of these every quarter. It's like a mandatory progress report for the whole world to see. It's got everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, from how much money they made to the biggest risks that are keeping them up at night. All right, so here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll start by decoding the 10Q, then get into the financial snapshot. After that, we'll look at MongoDB's big bets, check out the risks and any legal troubles, and finally, we'll put all the pieces together for the big picture. Let's get into it. Okay, let's kick things off. First up, decoding the 10Q. We're turning that wall of text into something that actually makes sense. And you know, when you're trying to understand any company, there's one golden rule. You've got to follow the money. Which brings us right to the financial snapshot. You know, in any financial investigation, the first thing you look for are the top-line numbers. They're like the company's vital signs, right? They give you a quick checkup on its overall health before you start digging any deeper. And wow, the first number is a big one. We're talking $628.3 million. That's their total revenue in just 3 months. So right off the bat, that tells you something important. People want what they're selling. Sales are strong, demand is high. That is a very healthy number. But, and here's where the plot thickens. Despite bringing in all that cash, they actually posted a net loss of $2 million. So what does that mean? It means that even with over $600 million coming in the front door, even more was going out the back. Which begs the question, where on earth is all that money going? Okay, but a single number never tells the whole story. Context is everything. So let's look at this quarter compared to the same time last year. See that? Revenue is way up, from about $529 million to that $628 million we just saw. And look at the loss. It's shrunk from almost $10 million down to just $2 million. So the trend is actually really positive. They're making a lot more and losing a lot less. And this chart right here, this explains everything. This is where all that money is going. Just look at these numbers. $230 million on sales and marketing, another $176 million on R&D. So no, this isn't a picture of a company that's in trouble. This is a company that's aggressively, and I mean aggressively, investing in its own future. It's a classic move in the tech world, right? You spend a ton of money now to grow as fast as you can, grab all the market share, and then you worry about profits later on. So that aggressive spending perfectly leads us to our next section, MongoDB's big bets. Because when you're spending that kind of cash, you're not just paying the bills, you're making huge bets on the future. And this report shows us 2 massive ones that really tell us where they think they're headed. Okay, clue number 1 is pretty straightforward. They're not just trying to build everything themselves. They're going out and buying key pieces of technology. And I mean buying. They dropped almost $161 million to buy an AI company called Voyage AI. Now, in the tech world, a 9-figure acquisition like this, that is a huge statement. It's basically them planting a flag and saying, we are all in on AI. And it makes perfect sense, right? All these modern AI tools need incredibly powerful databases to handle mountains of data. And MongoDB is betting that they can be the database for the AI revolution. And the report gives us a few more details. What I think is really key here is not just the price. Look at the assets they got. Developed AI technology and talent. That's the crucial part. They didn't just buy a bunch of code. They bought the brilliant people behind the code. That's a huge move. All right, so that was their first big bet. But the second one, for my money, is even more interesting. Because while they're out there buying other companies, they're also buying up their own. Get this. The board has given the green light for a $1 billion share repurchase program. $1 billion. So what that means is they are literally taking company cash and using it to buy their own stock back from the open market. You have to understand this is one of the biggest votes of confidence a company can give itself. It's management screaming from the rooftops, we think our stock is undervalued and we're willing to bet our own money on it. And this isn't just some theoretical plan for the future. They are already doing it. The report shows they've already burned through more than $345 million of that billion-dollar authorization just in the last 9 months. So they still have over $650 million left in the war chest to keep buying. Okay, so far it's all about growth and big, bold bets. But a 10Q isn't a marketing brochure. By law, it also has to include all the stuff that could go wrong, all the risks and challenges. And well, it turns out MongoDB has a pretty big one lurking in the shadows. Yeah, if you dig deep into the legal section of the report, you find this. It's a quote from a shareholder lawsuit filed against the company. And the accusation is serious. It alleges that the company made material misstatements, basically that they weren't entirely truthful about their sales strategy and their finances. That is a huge question mark hanging over everything. And this isn't something that just popped up yesterday. As you can see from this timeline, this whole legal drama has been playing out for a while now. It was filed back in July of 2024, and right now, everyone's just waiting. The company has asked the judge to throw the case out, and the court's decision on that motion is still pending. So the outcome here is a total unknown. All right, so we've looked at the money, we've looked at the big bets, and we've uncovered the legal troubles. That brings us to our final section, the big picture. Let's put all these clues together and figure out what is the real story this 10Q is telling us about MongoDB today. So here's the verdict, based on the evidence. First, revenue growth is absolutely on fire. Second, they are making a very clear, very deliberate choice to sacrifice short-term profits for long-term growth. Third, they're making huge strategic bets on 2 key areas, the future of AI through acquisitions and their own future through stock buybacks. But, and this is a big but, all of this is playing out with a massive legal storm cloud hanging right over their heads. And all of that leaves us with one critical, lingering question. This is really the big takeaway from this whole report. MongoDB is playing a high-stakes game. They're betting big and spending big on a strategy that could lead to incredible success, or it could blow up. So the real question, the one this report can't answer for us, is this. With these huge bets on AI and this looming legal risk, is MongoDB's aggressive growth strategy actually built to last?